What's going on, people? Welcome to Football Carnage, and we are back once again with another Madrid hype for you guys right here on the channel. Big up to all the mandem that's going to be joining, right? Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss anytime I drop a new video or I go live. But I hope everybody's enjoyed the nice little break that we had. International football is over. Club football is back. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm super excited. International break was okay. The UEFA Nations League matches are just boring. I feel like we're seeing the same matchups every international break because of the whole group stage. But the South American World Cup qualifiers, they have been fire. I ain't gonna lie. Like, those have been nice to watch. But I think a majority of us don't necessarily care for the international break. And we did take a little hiatus on the channel, right? I did upload a few videos. I dropped a match preview for the game against Celta Vigo that's going to be happening tomorrow. So make sure that you guys go check that out. But we're back. Things are going back to regular now. And of course, we have to start off today with a Madrid hype because there's just so many things to talk about. Trent Alexander news is going around, right? They're also talking about other signings that we might do in the January window. We got to talk about Arda Guler and his situation, what's going on there. But, man, big up to everybody, man. And there's just so many things to get into. I'm going to be real. I think I do want to start off with Carlo Ancelotti's press conference, only because, right, chat? Tomorrow's game is huge because El Clasico is next Saturday. So, with that being said, the form that we've been on has not been good enough. And we got to pick that up immediately. Because Barcelona are on fire. And we can't afford to have them come to the Bernabeu and destroy us like how they've been doing to a majority of teams. So I do want to talk about the press conference, right? We'll read the questions and, see what they asked them. Sometimes these reporters just ask a whole bunch of nonsense. I'm going to be real, but we can pull it up right here, man. Let's talk about Carlo's press conference. Let's react to it. Big up to everybody that's in here. My guy ZX, what's going on, bro? But yeah, let's talk about it. So Carlo did a press conference ahead of tomorrow's game versus Celta Vigo, and we'll run through this real quick. So they asked him about Carvajal's recovery, right? For everybody that is not aware, unless you've been sleeping underneath a rock for like the last 3 weeks, Carvajal suffered a big injury against Villarreal at the end of the game, right? He's out for a year, right? His season is done. We won't be seeing him until next season. But Carlo says, we feel sorry for him. He's very important. And for the next few months, we have lost him as a player, but not as a leader in the dressing room. He'll be here and he'll be working with us. We're going to use his head, which is just as important as his physical strengths. Okay. They asked him about Mbappe. Okay, damn, Carlo gave a whole essay for this one. He used the break to work on his fitness and recover from his injury. He's happy and eager to play and to play an important role. These 15 days have helped him a lot because he's a different player to before the break. I think he's close to 100%. He's doing very well, and it's a pleasure to watch him train on a technical level. His position doesn't change. He can switch with Vinny on the left wing, but we focused on fitness work. He's looking very good, and this break has been very good for him. Okay. So game at Davies will be his so this game against Celta Vigo will be his 200th game in charge at Real Madrid. Carlo's an absolute legend. I think he's up there for one of the greatest managers that we've ever had, right? I think, some people might say Zidane because of the three-peat in the Champions League, but I definitely do think that Carlo has a shout for being the greatest ever manager at Real Madrid. Says there have been many good and some not so good moments with Real Madrid. I didn't know I was reaching 200, and the aim is to accumulate as many games as possible. I want to reach 300. Hopefully, I'll get there. Ooh, so Carlo's saying he wants to stay at Madrid. Yo, there's speculation that Carlo may be moved at the end of this season, right? I don't think we'll sack Carlo, right? What I think ends up happening if we don't have a good season is he'll end up taking a different role at the club, and they'll announce that Carlo is now going to be, a part of the Real Madrid board, or he'll be like an ambassador, something like that. And then we'll go get a new manager. But Carlo's saying right here, he wants to reach 300 games in charge. Carlo's thinking long-term. That's at least 2 to 3 more seasons at the club. But if things don't turn around, I don't know if he gets that much time, especially with all the links with Xabi Alonso and these other managers that are up and coming. I don't know. We got to see. Let's see where we going next. Player rotations. Because I don't want to read every single question, but whatever. It says, we have to assess the recovery of the players who have come to the end. Rodrigo and Valverde. Valverde is dealing with an injury? I know that Rodrigo was dealing with some fitness problems before going on international break, but he started both games for Brazil. So I don't really think he should be getting held because he shouldn't have went to international break if he's not fit. And I guess Valverde maybe picked up a knock during Uruguay's games. I didn't watch any of Uruguay's games, so I'm not too sure. We'll have to see. Lucas Vazquez, obviously, he's a guy that's going to be starting a lot of games now that Dani Carvajal is out. We don't necessarily got to read about him. Winter reinforcements. Okay, this is what I want to see. I haven't asked the club for reinforcements. See, why not? All the injuries that we have, why would you not go ask the club to back you in January? Because if you don't go out there and succeed this season because of the injuries, you're going to get sacked. I'm telling you this right now. So I think Carlo is very irresponsible for not going to ask the club for reinforcements. I would have been in the office the day that Carvajal got injured. Actually, in the summer, because we didn't sign anybody in the summer except for Mbappe. I would have been asking for reinforcements from the summer because last season we had all those damn injuries and we had to figure it out. Whatever. He says last year we handled the injuries we had well. The thing about last year is it's not last year still. So it doesn't matter about what we did last season. Just because we managed to handle all the injuries well doesn't mean that we should not have brought in reinforcements. We had a shit summer window. And the Mbappe signing papered over the cracks because a lot of people weren't necessarily calling out the lack of business that we've done. I did, though. Once Carlo came out and said that the squad was closed, like the first week of August, I criticized it right here on stream. Whatever. He says, I have not asked the club for reinforcements. Last year, we handled the injuries we had well, and we're going to do the same this season. See, yeah, this is pissing me off. If we need a certain player for Real Madrid, we won't rule out signing him, but it's not that simple. We have homegrown players who can contribute. Okay, so then start playing some of the players from the academy. Carlo does not play players from the academy like that. So why are you trying to gaslight me? Also, Alaba will be back. He'll soon be working with the team, and he's recovering well. We're not thinking of making any signings apart from Lucas Militao can also play at right back. Yeah, don't fucking piss me off, bro. We need signings. We need signings. Go sign some players in January. Stop with the bullshit. We're struggling at the moment. It's not like we're dealing with injuries and we've been cooking teams. We've been shit. Only 3 games this season have we looked good. Espanyol, Alaves, Atletico Madrid. How many games have we played this season? 12? So you're telling me only 3 games out of 12 or 13 that we've looked good. And you're talking to me about you're not trying to make signings in the summer? You're not asking the club? Does Carlo not realize that his job is on thin ice? If you're watching, chat, how many times do I have to talk to people that want Carlo sacked? I don't want Carlo sacked, but I think he will be if we don't win some major honors. And how this season is going, it's not looking like we're going to win a thing. We need reinforcements. Lucas Vazquez is not good enough to start week in, week out. We don't even have any center backs. We only have 2. What are you talking to me about Militao playing right back? We need him at center back. So then if Militao plays at right back, then are you going to start Tchouaméni at center back? Because he brought up how Alaba's coming back, and we know that he will. But if Alaba's injury recovery process has any setbacks, what are we going to do? Let's be real. We're probably not going to see Alaba play until, I'd say, mid or late December. So what are we going to do until then? Because now you're just going to have to hope and pray that nobody else gets injured. We literally cannot afford any more injuries, especially at that back line. Of course we need reinforcements. We needed reinforcements in the summer. We wanted reinforcements. We tried to sign Lenny Yoro. We didn't end up paying the money. We let Manchester United get him, and then we signed nobody. So we knew we needed reinforcements. I don't think Carlo understands how much pressure his job is under at the moment. Because right now, I'm telling you, the way that we've looked this season, we're not winning the Champions League. We're not going to win La Liga. At best, we can hope to maybe win the Spanish Super Cup or Copa del Rey. And is that good enough? Let's keep it moving, guys. Youth team players in the right back role. He says Loren Fortia. I've heard about this Fortia kid. Now they're trying to push that he's generational. No, he's not, because we'd have heard about him from way before. And Jacobo, there's a daily assessment of youth players who can help us. Carlo, you barely play Arda Guler. You don't like playing youth players. You don't like playing young people. You don't trust them. Do any of you actually believe that a kid from our academy is going to get significant minutes at right back? We would have to have suffered many, many injuries to our back line before we see that. I remember when people were talking about that Joan Martinez kid, the 16-year-old who went on preseason with us, and everybody was like, oh, well, look at him. He looks like a good player. Oh, Carlo's going to use him. No, he's not. I know that he got injured, but even if he was fit, Carlo was not going to play him. He wasn't. Not the minutes that you all would have hoped for. So I don't really have any expectations with the youth academy at the moment. Vinicius Jr., he says this break has been very good for him because he's taken advantage of it like the others to get some hard, intense work and rest days, which I think he enjoyed. Those are my feelings, but it's what happens on the pitch, and we'll see tomorrow. My feeling is that he's fine like Mbappe. Yeah, you guys know against Villarreal, Vinny injured his shoulder in the second half, had to get subbed off, didn't go on international break with Brazil. On Tuchel being named the England boss. Okay, that's a very weird question. There was nothing with the England team. They have chosen a very good and tactically very solid coach. I wish him all the best. I do like the England appointment of Thomas Tuchel, to be fair. But that's the press conference. I mean, like, what do you guys think about some of the answers and questions that he gave? Joel, what's going on, fraud? Carlo injured everyone. I mean, it just seems like we're unlucky at the moment. What's going on, Harris? Says Real need to go out and get Carlo Saliba in the summer. I mean, who knows? We've been linked to Saliba. I would definitely take him at Real Madrid. I think that would be a fantastic signing, but that's going to be a very hard deal to get done. GX says 70 million on... I don't know what you mean, bro. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I'm not too sure. But there are a few other things that I wanted to show just concerning the game for tomorrow. So here's the squad list, right? Here's the team that will be traveling for this game, right? So goalkeepers. So Courtois is back from injury. Luna is back from his sickness, right? Defense, Militao, Lucas Vasquez, Vallejo, Fran Garcia, Rudiger, and Mendy. Midfield, Bellingham, Camavinga, Valverde, Modric, Tchouaméni, Arda Guler, and Dani Ceballos is back. Dani Ceballos got injured after that game against Real Betis. So he's back in the squad. And then in attack, Vinny, Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Endrick. And then here is the expected lineup for tomorrow's game. What do you guys think about this? They're saying a 4-3-3. If you guys watched my match preview that I dropped a few days ago, this is the same exact lineup that I predicted. I just did a 4-2-3-1. They're just showing a 4-3-3. Tomatoes, tomato. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, basically. But yeah, this is the team that I do expect to see out there tomorrow in a must-win game. And we should be taking care of Celta Vigo. And then after Celta Vigo, we got Dortmund in the Champions League. And then after Dortmund in the Champions League, then we got to go play Barcelona. That's going to be a pretty big game, guys. I mean, and, let me know what you guys are thinking for that matchup. But let's get into some transfer news. Right now, a name that we've been talking about so much is Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'm actually kind of getting tired of talking about Trent because I feel like I'm just doing it so often. Like, what else is there to say? But it seems like every week, new reports come out about us bringing him to the club. So the latest news on Trent is that Real Madrid believe Liverpool could negotiate for a transfer of Trent Alexander-Arnold in January for a significant fee. The performances in the next weeks will make Real Madrid decide if they want to try negotiating in January or not. Well, I don't think it matters what we do. I honestly don't think it matters how good we play the next few weeks. If Trent has not signed a new deal by the January window, you go sign him. If you can get him for a cut price, I don't know what they're talking about, a significant fee. If Trent only has 6 months left on his deal in January, you're not getting a significant fee because he'll be free. So you'll take 20 million and you'll like it. If Liverpool were smart, they would cash in on Trent. The guy has been rejecting new contract bids for over 2 years now. I don't think Trent wants to play for Liverpool anymore. Actions speak louder than words. And Trent's actions at the moment is showing me, I don't want to play at Liverpool. And why would you? You have unambitious owners. Jurgen Klopp has just left. Your squad is aging. You've already won everything that there is to at the club. You'll come to Real Madrid and be the starting right back, and you get to be with your best friend Jude, playing for a much bigger club with much better players. This seems like a no-brainer. And you will get a big signing on fee and a nice wage, maybe even higher than what Liverpool are offering you. But right now, Liverpool have no leg to stand on. They're cooked. They can't negotiate a high fee. Trent has all the power right now. They should have sold him last summer. I tried to tell people, but Liverpool fans wanted to hold on to him. And I get it. He's one of your own from the academy. But I'm telling you right now, this guy does not seem like he wants to stay at the club. So why are you trying to force it? I think we should be looking to sign him in January. I don't even want to wait until the summer to get Trent. Because the injuries that we have, why not bring in reinforcements? I know that we don't really sign players in January. It's like a very rare thing that happens. Last time we did was 2020 with Reiner Jesus. At least that's what my memory is telling me. But if Trent's there, if you don't end up signing him in January, right? And there is a possibility that he does end up staying at Liverpool. The guy might sign a new deal. It's very possible. So why risk it? Get him in January. Bring him in, middle of the season. And I think it'd be a great signing. But I think, Liverpool definitely have to be aware that, look, he's probably talking to Real Madrid. Would you guys take Trent in January? There are other right backs that we're going to talk about in a second. But we need to sign players in January. I'm telling you this right now. With all the injuries that we've already had this season, we're going to get more. The players that are injured and that are going to be missing games, more will be missing games. More will be injured. Why wait? I don't like this very casual approach in the January window. The January window is there for a reason. If you're dealing with injuries, you got to go make some reinforcement signings in the middle of the season. Like, that's why you have to take advantage of it. But we don't. And as I said earlier, it's going to be a very long season for us if we don't spend money in January. What we do in the January transfer window is going to be the biggest indicator of how the rest of our season will go. If we end up doing nothing in January, it's not going to be a good rest of the season. I'm telling you that right now. Unless things completely turn around. Because we've been shit this season. Awful. I've never seen Real Madrid be this bad. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. The players just seem lackadaisical. There's no urgency. In the first halves, we're getting cooked in a majority of our games. It's ridiculous. Go out there and sign Trent in January. He's begging for us to go get him. Why else has he not signed a new deal? If he wanted to stay at Liverpool so bad, he would have signed a new deal a year ago. He wouldn't have waited for his contract to be running down. But we'll see. As I said, there's not really anything else you could say for Trent. We've been talking about Trent for how long now? Like, what else can I really add about this deal? Okay, you were talking about Lenny Yoro. Big up. It says, yo, what's going on, Adam? Big up, my guy. Big up, bro. Big up, big up. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking about Trent. I don't really know what else to say about this. This is the deal. I think it's going to happen. Unless he signs a new deal soon. If we get down to January and this guy only has, 4 months left on his deal, Liverpool would have to cash in on him. But then I think I'm giving Liverpool a little bit too much credit because we know that they're a poorly run club. So, I mean, like, they probably would just let him leave for free because they're idiots. But aside from Trent, right, there are other players that the club are looking at because, again, there is a possibility that he does end up signing a new deal, right? So some of the other options at right back are Juanlu from Sevilla. I'm not really too familiar with him. I don't watch Sevilla play that much. We will be watching them against Barcelona. We will be doing a watch along, right? Pedro Porro, the right back at Tottenham, Spanish as well. He's even came out in the media maybe like a week or so ago talking about the links to Real Madrid and how he's honored. I mean, he plays for Tottenham. Who would not want to leave Tottenham to come to Real Madrid? That's like walking to work every day and then winning the lottery and driving the new Lamborghini to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tottenham are a shit club. They don't win trophies. And we do business with them, right? Luka Modric played for Tottenham. We signed him. Gareth Bale, we signed him from Tottenham. And those players have come to Madrid and became legends. So the pipeline between the two clubs is there. But Pedro Porro, while I do like his skill set, he's very good on the ball, right? Going forward, he's a good crosser as well. Could take a shot. I do like him more than Juanlu, right? They're saying that Trent is the priority. And then you got Jeremie Frimpong, the right wing back from Bayer Leverkusen. I like Jeremie Frimpong. I think he's a decent player. But I would not want to sign him for Real Madrid. I think he's better as a wing back in a back three, right? There's times where this guy's heat map looks like he's playing on the right wing. Defensively, he's not good. Everybody that's watching this video right now can cook Jeremie Frimpong in a 1v1. Let's just be very clear here. Going forward, he's a winger. I don't really consider him a right back. He's a winger. In that Xabi Alonso system, he is their right winger. And out of these names right here, I do prefer Trent. He's free. He's the most accomplished. And I think he would settle in nicely at the club. And I think that he will add a creative spark to our team. And I got to give him some credit. This season, Trent has been very good defensively, right? We know that defensive things is not what he's known for. That's not what he's been brought in for. That's not what's made him stand out, is how good he is defensively. We know that on the ball is where Trent cooks. We know that his crossing, his free kicks. But every day that he does not sign a new deal, I'm warming up more and more to the possibility of bringing in Trent. And another name that's kind of been thrown around as well is Hakimi. Now, we all know Hakimi was at Real Madrid. He came through the academy. He played a few games for us. And then we loaned him to Dortmund. And then I believe Dortmund sold him to PSG, right? Because I think Dortmund bought him permanently, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even remember. Point is, he was at Real Madrid. And now they're saying that we might possibly bring him back. Even though Hakimi's deal doesn't run out until 2026, right? I think we do want a right back in 2025. Like, we want a right back at the end of this season. We don't want to wait another season to get one. And there's no way in hell PSG are going to do any kind of business with Real Madrid, right? Especially after this whole Mbappe situation. They're not going to negotiate with Madrid. I'm telling you that right now. So the only way that we could sign Hakimi is if he pulls an Mbappe and leaves for free. But by the time his contract runs out, we would have a Trent there already, or a Pedro Porro. Like, we would have signed a right back this upcoming summer. But yeah, there's no chance that you see PSG and Real Madrid negotiate for any player anytime soon. But Hakimi is a guy that I would take back, right? He is very similar to a Trent. He's similar to a Hakimi, to a Pedro Porro, right? It's just like modern day fullbacks. They're so good on the ball. Hakimi going forward is a monster. Defensively, shaky. But it seems like that's the profile of right backs that we're targeting, because those are the right backs that you do see get all the praise nowadays. Like, how many pure defensive right backs are there in the game right now that people actually rate? I'm trying to think. And I do believe that Dani Carvajal is the best right back in the world, because I think he's the most complete. Then after him, I'd say it's Trent. No, I'd say it's Reece James as the most complete right back. But he can never stay fit. So, yeah, we are looking at right backs that are going to be able to overlap, because that is important, and who are good in the attack. But, as I said, give me Trent. We don't got to spend money on him, which means that we'll also be able to spend more money on other players. When you have a player of Trent's profile, you just got to go do the deal. And then last right back option that we'll kind of talk about here is Josh Acheampong. Now, he's not a household name, right? He's 18 years old, and he plays for Chelsea. He's come through the Cobham Academy. And this is the second time that we've been linked to him. The first time that I've ever heard of this player was in August, when we were linked to him alongside PSG. And I wasn't too sure who this guy was, and we did watch some of his clips, and he looks like a good player. Now, I would be lying if I told you I ever watched him play a full game. I have not. But he looks very good. He can play right back. He can play center back. He can also play right wing back. He's very good on the ball. Very good on the ball. Go look up some clips from this guy. He's very comfortable with the ball. He's good going forward. He's like a good passer as well. A lot of Chelsea fans are annoyed with this news because they don't want him to be sold. A lot of Chelsea fans rate this guy. And I know Chelsea's academy is fantastic. They produce so much talent from Cobham. It's ridiculous. And I think the success of Jude Bellingham has opened up the door for young English players. Now, I don't believe if we sign this kid from Chelsea that would just be the solution at right back. He's so young and he's so unproven that I think you still would have to sign a Trent, a Pedro Porro, right? A Jeremie Frimpong. You would need a more established right back that can start week in, week out. And then you could sign this kid and then you could play him sometimes, right? Have him come off the bench. Have him play with La Fabrica, right? Have him in the academy. Develop him that way. But the reports are saying Real Madrid are considering a move for Josh Acheampong this January. So not even the summer. They're talking about in January. Both as a short-term option at right back and a long-term target in their defense. Liverpool, Newcastle, and Tottenham are also monitoring him, but Chelsea do not want to sell. Now, I looked up this kid's contract. It does expire in 2026. And his value is only $300K. So this could be a deal that Madrid could get done for around maybe $2 million. They can't ask for a crazy price. He's not proven. It's not like he's starting games for Chelsea. And I don't get why he's not playing for Chelsea. Because Reece James has only just come back from injury. Malo Gusto has been banged up. They're playing Disasi at right back. Disasi is shit. I wonder why they haven't given this kid a chance. Maybe Enzo Maresca doesn't want to really rely on the youth players at the moment, considering how much pressure is on him to succeed at Chelsea. I don't know, but this is an opportunity that I think Madrid can capitalize on. And I would not mind us signing him, but I do not want him to be the only right back signing that we make because, again, he's not proven. So I think you still got to go get a Trent or whoever and also sign this kid. But he does look very good. He does. But what are you guys saying for right back options? If we don't go out there and sign Trent, right? We know that that's the priority. Who would you want us to go sign? Let me know. Yo, what's going on, Sin? Says, sorry, bro, it's all good. You don't got to apologize. Big up, my guy. Could just sign back Ramos. Yeah, we will be talking about Sergio Ramos in a little bit. Let me see. It's Inter? What do you mean about that? PSG are rivals and enemies. Facts. I don't consider them rivals, but they definitely are enemies. Like, they don't like us. They don't like us. And I wouldn't like us either if I was them. Why? But yeah, you're not going to get Hakimi unless he leaves for free. But that's not until 2026. We need a right back now. So I don't think Hakimi is an option. I would love to have Hakimi back at the club. I think we should have never sold him. We should have kept him. But it is what it is. Leave Porro alone. I'm good. Hey, look, you got to tell Porro to stop twerking for us, bro. Big up to my guy, Jordan. Yo, Pedro Porro was like, oh, it's an honor to be linked to Real Madrid. This man, yo, I think he might put in a transfer request if we don't sign Trent. Bro, center back of Nottingham, Murillo, the guy is better than Gabriel and Militao, in my opinion. Full of talent. You just like Brazilians. I think I know who you're talking about. I haven't really watched him too much, though, because I'm not watching Nottingham Forest. But I doubt. I doubt we're looking at him. But to say that he's more talented than Gabriel and Militao, that if he was more talented than them, then why is he at Nottingham Forest? Why didn't a big club come in for him then if he has that much talent? He should be in the Brazil squad as soon as possible. So he's better than Gabriel, Militao, and Marquinhos, and Lucas Beraldo, and players like that. Murillo is very good, but I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, I have to maybe watch him. I only really watched one Nottingham Forest game this season, and that was when they were beating Liverpool. So, and I wasn't paying attention to any of their players, to be honest. So, maybe I'll make sure that I'm doing a better job of watching. Yeah, okay, so what is he good at? Is he good on the ball? Like, is he a complete center back? I'll make sure to pay attention, bro. Big up to everybody that's in here, man. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. But let's keep it moving, people. Let's keep it moving, right? We got to talk about Alphonso Davies. Did you guys see the reports saying that Barcelona want to sign him? They know that, there's nothing done with us in him. So there is a chance for Barca to maybe hijack a deal that we want to get done. And this news does not surprise me. Whenever you have a player of Alphonso Davies' quality, a lot of clubs are going to be in for him. I think every big club in world football should be looking to sign an Alphonso Davies or a Trent Alexander-Arnold with their contracts running down. How often do you see a player of his level leave his club for free, especially Bayern Munich, who are not a selling club? It doesn't usually happen. Alphonso Davies is one of the better left backs in world football. He's rapid. He's great going forward, but he does have some injury problems. Like, it's been a challenge for him to stay fit at Bayern recently. But they want to keep him. They've been offering him new deals. But I think Alphonso Davies wants to leave. And I think Barcelona, we do have to view them as a threat to possibly sign him, right? We can't just dismiss Barca. They are a big club. And look at how they're playing right now under Hansi Flick, right? And Barcelona, they do have the pull. We just got to be honest here. The issue with them is that they're broke. They mismanage their money. But don't think for 1 second that players are not attracted to Barca, especially with how they look underneath Hansi Flick, right? You got Lamine Yamal there. You got Lewandowski. You got Ronald Arroyo. The thing is, they already have that left back. What's his name? Alex Bade. He's from their academy. He's a good player. And if they signed Alphonso Davies, that would be two very good left back options to have. Now, me personally, while I do acknowledge that Barca are an attractive club, I don't believe they're more attractive than us. If you're Alphonso Davies, I think you come to Real Madrid. And he would add the perfect balance at left back for us. You have Ferland Mendy, who's a monster defensively. And then you have Alphonso Davies, who's good going forward and is a change of pace at that position. I think you come to Madrid. And I think he will sign for Madrid if he's a free agent. We can offer him more money than Barca can. And I just think that we have a better squad than them. Everybody likes to talk about, Barcelona don't buy their stars. They make them. I don't know where this narrative has come from. But, chat, do you know that Barcelona in the last 10 years have spent $500 million more than Real Madrid? So why is it that we're the club that get criticized for spending money when Barca have spent $500 million more than us? They've spent $500 million more than Real Madrid over the last 10 years. The issue is when Barca spend big money on players, they flop. Their three biggest signings were all flops. They went 0 for 3. Imagine that. Dembele flopped. Griezmann flopped. Coutinho flopped. They don't spend money well. But they do spend money, which is why they're in debt right now, which is why they're broke. So my thing is, can Barcelona even offer him a deal? Because these guys have players taking pay cuts. They couldn't even register Dani Olmo after they signed him. Dani Olmo missed like the first 4 games because they couldn't register him. If you're Alphonso Davies, why do you want to deal with that? I think he would do a lot better with us than he would there. But at the same time, it's like I opened up by saying every single club that considers themselves a big club should be in for Alphonso Davies. Of course, Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Man United. How do you justify not going in for Alphonso Davies? I don't think it's just going to be as simple as Madrid won him and that's it. Even though I'd like it to be that simple. But he's going to be getting a lot of offers. And we know that these Premier League clubs can come in and offer a lot more money than what we may be willing to. So now it's going to come down to, what does Alphonso Davies want? Do you think that he just comes to Real Madrid and is an automatic starter? I don't think so. Because I think Ferland Mendy is very good as well. So I don't think Davies just walks into this team. Maybe he wants to go somewhere where there's not going to be that much competition at left back, right? Like Manchester United, he walks into that team. Chelsea, he walks into that team. Maybe PSG might go in for him. You still got to look at Inter Milan, AC Milan. Who knows? But this news does not surprise me. Barcelona, I got to give them some credit. Once they sacked Xavi and they brought in Hansi Flick last summer, I knew that they were moving serious. You don't bring in a Hansi Flick if you're not trying to win things now. Hansi Flick is not a rebuild manager. Hansi Flick is a win now manager. So fair enough. But what are their finances like? How are Barcelona going to be able to offer him a new deal? How are they going to be able to offer him a big signing on bonus? Because that is one of the benefits of leaving on a free. The next club that signs you, because they don't have to pay a transfer price, you get a bigger signing on bonus and you generally get higher wages because now the club did not have to negotiate. But I think the biggest loser here is Bayern Munich. Bunch of idiots. I don't understand how you end up letting Alphonso Davies walk away for nothing. We offered them, or the reports were that we did offer them money in the summer. He only had 12 months left in the summer. So you're not going to get a crazy fee. Bayern wanted like 60 million to sell him. You would have only gotten 60 million if he had multiple years left on his deal. We offered them like 40 million. I think that was a fair price for a player that's going to be free in a few months. But their ego got hurt. They didn't want to get bullied. So, all right, fair enough. There is a possibility that he ends up extending his deal. There is. But he's been rejecting contract talks so far. But Bayern are a huge club. They're not a team that you can just go take their players from them. They do make things very difficult. In terms of rivals, I do view Bayern Munich as a rival for Champions League reasons. The only clubs that I'm really worried about in the Champions League, Bayern Munich and Man City, just in the past. And Company is there. He has them playing some good football. Bayern are cooking right now. So maybe he's going to be able to convince Alphonso Davies to stay. And they're banking on that. But me, if I'm a club, I would never let a player stay if he's not signing a new deal. Once you get down to a year left in your deal, you're getting sold that summer window. If you're not going to sign a new deal, you got to get sold because that does hurt the club. But yes, they're saying that Barcelona, they're in for him. I just don't view them as more attractive than we are. So you do have to consider them a threat. They are a threat for sure. But they can't afford them, right, chat? See? Bro, you should look at this news of Barcelona and just laugh and close. Nah, see, the thing is, you cannot just dismiss Barcelona, bro. They are a huge club. They are. If they had their finances in order where they could go out there and spend money like they used to, they would be a major threat in the market. We can't be ignorant here. Just because we don't like them, it doesn't mean that we don't have to be objective, you know, bro? Barca still owe transfer fees for Torres and Rafinha. Yeah, like, how are they going to go sign Alphonso Davies? I don't know. Because of the connection between Barca and Bayern, because Flick, which are going to clash and fight. Yeah, bro, Barca versus Bayern. We will be here for that watch along. That's going to be lit. He is the same age as Vinicius. Yeah, I think Davies is about 23, 24, right? What's going on next? Big up. Hazard flopped. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So they went 0 for 3. Our biggest signings. Hold on. Hazard was a flop. You're right. Because of the injuries, for sure. Now, let's look at our other signings. Okay? Because I just brought up their 3. You're talking to me about just one player. Okay, let's see. Here's our biggest signings ever at the club. I'll share my screen for you right now. Here we go. Hazard flopped. Jude Bellingham. So, okay, he's not flopped. Gareth Bale. He didn't flop. Ronaldo did not flop. Tchouaméni did not flop. Zidane. James Rodriguez. Kaká. Okay, Luka Jovic flop. He flopped. Yeah. I don't know how the hell he was so bad. Because he cooked for Frankfurt that season, and I think they won Europa League. He was on fire, and then he came to Madrid and was just shit. Fair enough. Luis Figo. Did he flop? Eder Militao. Is he a flop? Mendy. Endrick. The jury is still out. Rodrigo. Not a flop. Vinny. Not a flop. R9. Not a flop. Kovacic. How much we spent? 38 million. He was only at the club for like a few seasons. I'd say he was just mid. He didn't really get that much opportunity. Beckham, Thibaut Courtois, Modric, Karim Benzema, Ian Robin. That was before I started watching. Anelka before I started watching. Xabi Alonso. Di Maria. Realistically, out of our top 25 signings, you could maybe say 3 of them are flops out of our top 25. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Come on, bro. Do you honestly think Davies suits Madrid instead of carry players? I think players with good pass and vision would be better. Alphonso Davies is very good on the ball. The only concerns with him is defensively. Bayern cooking, but lost to Aston Villa, and it was a one-sided match. Yeah, but they only lost 1-0. I mean, it happens. Kane is not a big game player. Well, I mean, he has no trophy, so you could definitely argue that. Hazard should have stayed at Chelsea. I don't blame him for wanting to come to Madrid. Like, he already accomplished everything that there was at Chelsea for him. Hazard should have... Easy to burgers. There's 5 flops there. I mean... all right. I don't really have time to get into it though. But you know, fair. If you think there's 5, point is, I just looked at a list of 25 players. You're talking about there's 5. When we spend money, we usually do not miss. We don't miss. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But just in terms of other transfer news, chat, right? We all know that we need a center back. We know that at the moment it's very thin there. And there's reports that Madrid do acknowledge that, right? So in Real Madrid's offices, they say that sooner or later, they need to sign a center back. Tchouaméni alone covering when needed is not enough. Rudiger and Militao need more competition. The club is looking for a left center back. Lukeba and Hato are the first options. Now, you see why I got so mad in the summer? No shit, we need center backs. A blind man could see that we needed to address our back line in the summer. And we did nothing. I told you guys, we went in for Lenny Euro. We didn't offer that much money. United came in with the ridiculous bid for a player that's only 18 with 12 months left. Fair enough. We didn't want to spend that kind of money. But the fact that we didn't sign anybody after missing out on Euro, that's what pissed me off. We had these injury problems last season. And the board said, let's just run it back this season. Why? I told you, we had an awful transfer window. We did. That was a bad window. We only signed Mbappe, and we did fuck all. We needed a center back. We needed a right back. We also needed a deep line playmaker that can do a similar job to what Toni Kroos was doing for us. And all that they did was sign Mbappe. And that was a great signing. I like the Mbappe signing. And I do believe that it will work. I was very happy with us being able to finally sign him. But it distracted a lot of people from other issues that we had. Carlo Ancelotti in the first week of August came out and told us that the squad is closed. Why would you do that with 4 weeks left in the window? That was when I first criticized the lack of business that we did. At first, I was like, you know what? The Euros were going on. Copa America was going on. So, maybe the club just wanted to wait. But we didn't do that. And now here we are seeing reports that they're saying we need center back help. Yes, we needed center back help in the fucking summer. Now we have to pray that Militao and Rudiger, one of them, don't get injured. We literally have to pray every single game, because if one of those guys get injured, now you got to play Tchouaméni at center back, which means they're now taking one of the best defensive midfielders out of midfield, and you're playing him in the back line. Now, Tchouaméni, we've seen he's good enough to play in that back line. He's done it. He did it last season. He did it a few games this season. But we know we prefer him in midfield. Jesus Vallejo is shit. You can't even rely on him. You cannot rely on Vallejo. Why did we not sign anybody in the summer? Why did it have to get to this point? And do you think we're going to sign somebody in January? I hope so. But we know that's not how we operate like that. With that being said, there is some good news about David Alaba. We know that he got that major injury, I think it was last November. So in a few weeks, it'll be a full year that David Alaba has been out. And they're saying that his left knee is making good progress, but not as much as expected. At Real Madrid, there is confidence in recovering a good version of the defender. See, because that's something that people have to think about as well. With the injury that David Alaba has, there's a possibility that even if he does come back, and if he is fit, he might not be the same player that he was. David Alaba is a left back / center back that is a good defender, is good on the ball, can go forward, good passer, can play out from the back, good at free kicks, good at long shooting. Is he going to be the same player? Who knows? We have to see. Now, I'm waiting for Alaba to come back. I'm very excited for his possible arrival, but I don't think we see him until December, middle to late December. Maybe not even until January. Honestly, I don't think he's going to be back anytime soon. I think we're going to still have a few more months without David Alaba. But we need him badly. Nacho went to Saudi. Alaba's injured. Rudiger and Militao are our only center backs. And Tchouaméni can do a job there. But come on. It's not good enough, bro. It's really not. And they did say, again, that Jarell Hato and Lukeba, the defender from RB Leipzig, are options. It's going to be hard to get those deals done in January. Jarell Hato last season only had 12 months left on his deal. How come we didn't sign him then? He signed a new deal with Ajax. They're going to want a lot of money to sell him. Lukeba at Leipzig is one of their best defenders. How much you think that they're going to want for him in the middle of the season? It's always harder to get deals done in January because teams are in the middle of the season. They don't really want to lose some of their best players for the second half of the season. So now it's going to be harder. But with that being said, right, a crazy report came out. Something that I think this is wild, by the way. Did you guys see this? They're saying that the club are not thinking about signing Sergio Ramos. They said Real Madrid have never considered bringing him back. Never. Why would you not go sign Sergio Ramos on a 1-year deal? Bring him back for the season. I don't get this at all. Sergio Ramos is a free agent. You can sign him right now. And it's not even like he has to start. It's just to have some reinforcements in the back line. Because again, the only other fit center back that we have, aside from Rudiger and Militao, is Jesus Vallejo. And he's shit. I would much rather have Sergio Ramos as a backup. He's a legend at the club. And he knows what it means to play for us. How could you not be considering signing him on a free transfer? I don't understand this at all. I would have signed Sergio Ramos in the summer. I'd have gave him a 1-year deal. Yo, we need reinforcements. Nacho just left. David Alaba is still out injured. You bring in Sergio Ramos. And then if Rudiger or Militao gets an injury, you put him in. I don't get the thought process of never considering signing him back. Why not? I know that we usually don't bring back players that leave, but I think there should be an exception made because Ramos could come in right now. You don't even have to wait until the summer to sign a Sergio Ramos. He is a free agent. And I think he would come back in a heartbeat. He's not going to demand high wages. You let him come back, play the rest of this season, and then let him retire at the club. I don't understand what's the thought process here. Like, why not? I wish the reports would have given a reason why the club are not thinking about bringing him back. But that, to me, is just idiotic. We need the help. We're struggling at the moment. How are you turning your nose up to a Sergio Ramos? But would you guys take him back or not? Let me see. Madrid is better off sacking Carlo and bringing back Zidane. I think Zidane wants that France job. I don't know if he'd come back. So I think he would, but I'm not thinking about sacking Carlo right now. We'll talk towards the end of the season about if I think Carlo needs to go or not. You guys aren't getting Lukeba. He'll be priced out from every club in January. I agree. Why Madrid is still with Lucas Vazquez? Shouldn't we get an upgrade already? Well, you can't get an upgrade right now. The window is closed. So unless you're going to go sign a free agent at right back, then there is no upgrade to get at this point in time. You have to wait until January. So Lucas Vazquez is the only right back that we have at the club until that window opens up, and then we'll see what we do. David Alaba has been injured. Yep. Madrid 100% spent January. Madrid didn't in signings. Mbappe was free. Facts. Ramos is too old. Don't let your nostalgia fool you. So you think Jesus Vallejo is a better option off the bench than Sergio Ramos? Is that what you think? I'm talking about just bringing him in as a backup. He could play the occasional game. I'm not talking about him coming in to be a starter. Yeah, you guys are talking about the transfer fee, but yeah, let me know what you guys think about, Sergio Ramos, because to me, like, I think he could help us right now, and you don't have to wait to sign him. You could bring him in now because he's a free agent, but whatever. Let's talk about Arda Guler. You guys know that Arda Guler is a player that I rate very highly. You guys know that Arda Guler is a player that I've not been happy with the fact of his lack of minutes. I think Carlo Ancelotti has not used him properly. Right. And I thought with the Brahim Diaz injury that happened a month or so ago, I thought that would have led to more Arda Guler minutes. But it doesn't seem like Arda's minutes have increased. Now, the reports are saying that Carlo still trusts Arda a lot, and he will give more and more minutes to him as time passes. And he knows that he's in the best place he can be and believes that throughout the season, he'll be very important. And I do agree that Arda will end up getting more minutes. But what's pissing me off is that we've been so shit this season that I think a player like Arda Guler would have fixed a lot of the problems that we've had. I think it is unacceptable that Arda has also gotten about 3 or 4 DNPs. There's been games that he has just not been brought on, and he's been fit. How do you justify that? I think Arda is the best attacking midfielder that we have. In midfield, we struggle to hold on to the ball. Arda would help in that department. It's inexcusable, the lack of minutes that he's gotten. Brahim Diaz, I understand, right? Because he is higher in the pecking order. But he's been injured. The next man up should have been Arda. I don't understand why Carlo does not give him more minutes. And now that Danny Ceballos is back from injury, that's going to cut Arda's minutes even more, when I think Arda is a much better player than Danny. We see this guy carry his country. In the Euros, we saw him in the Nations League score a last-minute goal for them as well. He's the face of Turkey. And when given opportunities, he usually plays well. This season, he hasn't even scored a goal. He hasn't gotten an assist yet, but he's looked dangerous when he's been on the pitch. I don't understand why Carlo does not play him more. He definitely deserves minutes, whether it's in the midfield or it's on the wing. You can't tell me that Arda is not good enough to be getting significant minutes. Stop subbing him on so late in games. Like, I would probably start this guy against Celta Vigo. He won't start, but that's a game he could start in. Against Barcelona, against Dortmund, no, I don't expect him to start those games. But you're telling me that mid to bottom half teams in La Liga, Arda Guler cannot make an impact? Are you fucking kidding me? Last season, I was complaining about the lack of minutes that Arda was getting in the second half of the season when he was fit. And Carlo came out and said, yo, my job is to win games and trophies, not to play youngsters. That's why when people think about all these young players that Madrid might use from the academy, and bro, do not fool yourselves. Carlo does not trust young players. It is what it is. He'd rather go with more experienced players. I don't blame him for that. I don't. But it does piss me off. That's all I'm saying. I think Arda is a generational talent. The same way that people talk about Lamine Yamal is the same way that you got, for me, you got to talk about like Arda Guler. The difference is Lamine Yamal is playing 90 minutes every single week for Barcelona. And whether that's a good thing or not, he's still developing more than what Arda is not playing that many minutes at Madrid because Carlo, for some reason, does not trust him like that. So all these reports are fantastic about he trusts Arda and he will get more minutes. But I've heard these quotes in the summer. I heard these quotes in March last season. And yet, here I am still complaining about my guy not playing that much when we need him out there. But nonetheless, there are a lot of games this season. There's going to be more injuries. There will be opportunities for Arda. And he just has to make the most of them. But Carlo does not rate him as highly as I think we all do. Because if he rated him higher, he'd play him. But I get it. Arda, when he first signed for us, was injured the first 6 months. Didn't make his Real Madrid debut until last January. And then when he played last season, he's very clinical in front of goal. Great passer of the ball. He was cooking. So we'll see. But this is kind of annoying. You know, as I said, I do believe that there are going to be minutes for Arda. Let's see. Do you think the midfield should be Valverde, Jude, and Guler? Because if you think Arda is the 10 you want to play Tchouaméni, then you would just put Jude. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a hard decision. Because for me, Jude's not a 10. Jude is a box-to-box midfielder. Like, all his best attributes are off the ball. I think Jude is a good player, but on the ball, he's not the best. So for me, the whole 10 only worked because we didn't have a striker last season. So you could kind of play him in that 10. false nine kind of role, you know? But I don't know, to be honest. That's up for Carlo to figure out. Maybe you run the diamond, right? Then you have Tchouaméni at DM, Valverde right CM, Jude left CM, and then Arda in the 10. Try it. We've been shit this season. Why not try it? What do you like? How much worse can we honestly play? How much worse? I don't know. But yo, big up to everybody that joined this Madrid hype, right? We are back. As I said, the transfer window news is not going to slow down. So there's going to be so much things for us to talk about. But the international break is over. Club football is now back, right? We are going to be doing a watch along later today. We're going to be doing the Saudi game. Al-Shabaab versus Al-Nazar. That should be a fire one. Anytime we get to watch Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm here for it. And Al-Shabaab are top 4 in the Saudi league right now. So should be a good game, right? Tomorrow, we will be back. Obviously, we're going to be doing a watch along for Celta Vigo versus Real Madrid. Sunday, big day. We got Man City versus Wolves. We got Chelsea versus Liverpool. And then we got Barcelona versus Sevilla. 3 watch alongs on Sunday. And then next week, we're going to be back with other stuff. So, yo, big up to everybody that's in here. Make sure you guys smash that like button on your way out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on those post notifications so you don't miss anytime I drop a new video. And if you've not watched my Celta Vigo versus Real Madrid match preview, go watch that after I end this. But yeah, man, big up to your damn selves. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought about some of the stories that we talked about. And, yo, I'll catch you guys in a few hours, people. Big up to your damn selves. As always, I'm out, guys. Peace.